Governor, I've never met a governor from Virginia before, so I get to ask you this question. Do you ever sit in your office and you think, gosh, Thomas Jefferson had this job?
I do.
I mean, it's got to, and then by the nature of your state and its constitution you've got one term. I guess you can go for broke out of the gate because you're not running immediately for re-election.
Literally, let's go get stuff done twice as fast as you ever thought you could. I have a clock behind my desk that was set at 4 years the day I started, and it ticks down by the second. And so I'm reminded every day that time's a ticking, we better get to work. And so there's a real sense of urgency that we bring to everything we do. And on top of that, there's a huge sense of legacy because I live in a house that was built by President Monroe when he was governor. And I walk out front and I look at a state capitol that was designed by Thomas Jefferson, and I take a right and I go work in the Patrick Henry building. This is what we live in Virginia. These are the foundational values of our nation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and that we're endowed with certain unalienable rights, and among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You guys know this. And this is at the heart of the spirit of Virginia that we watched go to sleep under really oppressive leftist policies, and that we had to wake back up. And we didn't just wake it up in Republicans. It woke back up with independents and a lot of Democrats. And this is the legacy that every morning when I wake up and I have my quiet prayer time, I thank the Lord for putting me there. And then I ask him for help. So this is a big deal every day. And then I walk down the steps and I stare at that Capitol and I sit there and shake my head and say, how did I get here? But it is, in fact, that foundation of liberty and freedom, of our Constitution with James Madison, of the voice and the pen and the sword that was literally Patrick Henry, Thomas Jefferson, and George Washington that created the freedoms that were, of course, handed down by the Lord, but then gained by men who fought for them. This is what I want to make sure I'm trying to carry and fulfill. And I think this is a moment as a nation where we step back and we just have to remember these fundamental principles that at the end of the day are principles that underpin everything that makes America, America. And we've got to go to work in order to protect them, preserve them, and make sure that they're a part of our kids' futures and not just something they read about in a history book.